we're not talking about particularly a natural join. We are just talking about what happens when we use a join. So this command, what it does, it selects everything. I can select even just the name or particular attribute, but for now, I will just take everything from employee and department, both tables, and this is called cross product. This is called cross product of two tables. What it does is, anyone who remembers cross product in math, not that important. Okay, uh, anyone, do you guys have an idea about it?
Yes.
Okay, so good. So what happens cross product is, let me show you first just one table. Okay, so in this table, this is employee table. If I do cross product between employee table and the department table, let me open it another tab. So we will have both tables on one. Okay. So what will happen is that this record, this row will multiply with all these rows, and then similar will happen to other one. Like if if there is ID1, the first this will write this one, this record, like EID1 Amrit 2015 Patna, and then it will go for the record. It will write all of these beside it, and again it will work like that. Let me show you some photo if I hold up. Yeah, this will work. Hmm. So see, this is a table enrolled and a table measures in, I don't know, measures in. Okay, so the first record is, this is the first record, and it is repeating the number of times the other table is. Whenever we use cross join, sorry, Cartesian product, the cross product, something like this we get as an output. This is it must be having something more, like many more afterwards, but let's just consider till here. Did you guys get it? What I mean about by cross product in SQL between two tables? Yeah. Should I repeat? Okay. Yes, Krishna. If you want, I can repeat.
Yeah, please repeat.
Yeah, sure. So what? So there is a table enrolled and another table majors in. It has this record. The record is just one row, and whenever I do cross join, sorry, not cross join, cross product, what happens is, let's take a mathematical cross product. What happens in a cross product is, whenever I do A cross B, it doesn't have a proper example of it. Okay, leave it. A little more complicated. Okay, let's do it in R code. I am not going to put any condition. If I do this, select everything from employee cross department, what I get is everything, both the tables. I get the values of both the tables. How many times? Uh, I had employee tables. The number of rows in employees table were one, two, three, seven. Okay, seven rows into seven rows, which is 49. So I will get 49 records over there. Okay. So what I meant is, look, till here there is a one record, and which is having whole feedback thing repeated. And this whole table is being repeated the number of times on the left. Where it is. So for the employee table, every record for every record we can see the department table is repeating many times. There are 49 rows. Okay. Anyways, it is not that important. This forget it. Uh, what I am doing is just let it show the what join does. This is a bad idea to try to explain this. Okay. So with this statement, what I mean is uh, select everything from both tables, employee and department, where employee ID is equal to department EID. If I do this, I will get something like this. I will get this result. What it does, it takes employee ID. It shows me the first all the data where EID is same in both the tables. So now you will say that I have created primary key as EID in this. It means it cannot have a null value, and it has to be similar to the in the foreign key in order to work. But I can provide a null value in a foreign key until unless I have not defined it as default as not null. Okay. Uh, so what it does is I can get all the details from both the tables where the employee ID is same. So basically, this is what uh, the join statement does with it does a cross product, and I can use the statement. I can use a condition over it. This is what a join does. Okay, like what join does is it is a cross product and condition. So instead of doing this in a proper command way, we have simple ways, which is inner join, natural join, left join, and right join. So first of all, let's take you through inner join. So here is the syntax for inner join. Okay, so I'll just write it here. Select as everything from employees, inner join. Syntax for join condition is very easy. We just have to write this, and then instead of where we will use on as condition. Okay, we get the same result. This is what inner join is like. It just what inner join does is keyword selects records that have matching values in both tables. If I change, I don't have anything else matching in both the tables, just EID. So we can just compare, and it will just show the which are the matching in attributes in the both the tables. Do you get? Uh, can you understand some of inner join? Like I did this command and the result.
What if no attribute matches? Then what will happen?
Then obviously it will show null and it won't give any result. So we will see that in left join and right join. You will get to see that part. That's why I have changed some attributes here, some values here. Okay, and okay. So the anything else? Anything else except that? More? Anything else you want to ask? Not except it. More? Anyone? Okay, so let's go with the natural join. What natural join does is just look at the result. Okay, you can see the that EID is repeating twice here. when I use inner join. Now when I use natural join, okay, in natural join you don't have to give a condition because it automatically checks with the common attribute. That's why I used a foreign key, and it has to be same attribute, name, even the name, in both the tables. So when I use natural join, it decreases the number of attributes and the size of the result as well by taking a common of the repeating records. This is the basic difference between inner join and natural join, and that's why people choose natural join over inner join. But the results are always same. The main purpose is the same for both the joins, to get values of common attribute. So did you guys get somewhat idea of natural join and inner join? Uh, if you didn't get it, you can ask in particular, like you can try to frame the question. Okay. Okay. Uh, let's do it in this way. Uh, any of you make a question like, I have these two tables. You want to get record from it, from both the tables. Like, I want to let me make a question first. I want the employee names which are having their uh, department as planning. Let's try to make it. Uh, department dot d name equal to planning. So what I did, I wanted to know the name of employees whose department, which are having in the planning department. So it gives me the name of employees who are in the planning department. But as I have been doing this in the with the help of cross product, it is repeating the values that many times. Uh, let's change it. Do it inner join department on. Okay. See. क्वेश्चन ही गलत बनाया था. Um, okay. So. Okay. Uh, Sorry for this much late. I also got confused actually. So, what was happening earlier was that it was selecting the details of the employee from where the department is planning. I'm not there. But what was it doing? Because I just told you about that cross product thing. Whenever we join, the cross product thing happens, and that's why it was repeating the results. Uh, uh, how many times planning was there? So number of times this record, like 7 into the planning was 14 times. It was repeating that 14 times. But so to cope up with that, what I did, I just put another condition. It is similar to and or not, and I just compared that where the employee ID is equal to department ID. Sorry, employee ID where the both the employee IDs are same. Like it checks for the what it does. It checks for the planning. If the department is planning or not, then it goes for employee ID. If the employee ID is same, if the employee ID is matching with the employee ID of this table and the planning, the department name is also matching, then only shows the record. Earlier, it was just showing all the records and the uh, like department name. And now I just want to see the employee details which are having the planning department and their employee ID uh, in the employee table. Sorry, in the department table. So let's first now let's go for the right join and left join and right join, and then we will do some other question in a better way, not like this. So what right join does is it sorry left join. What left join will do, it selects uh, it returns all the records from the left table. What is left table and right table is like uh, here in the command, whichever table I write early first is the left table, and the later one is called the right table. Okay, and whenever there is and we put give a condition, I I write it like left join. What it means, I want all the contents from the left table, but I want some particular amount, particular uh, data from the right table which satisfies a particular condition that I'm giving here. And the result will, if, no, let's not go for the if condition first. Okay, so what it does, it gives me all the data from the left table, with that is employee ID, name, join year, and city, and then it checks for the condition in the right table. So it now like I have given the condition that EID is equal the employee ID in both should be same. So it shows the employee IDs are same, and now it is giving the result, returning the records. But whenever there the condition is not satisfied, it just shows the null as the value of the right table, uh, the attributes of right table. Like if I wanted to ask something, I give a condition on and if it doesn't satisfy in the right table, it just gives it null. It's not like that it won't show anything, but it will give automatically it will put value of null for that particular detail. So if I just do a left join and then ask for the department of Shan, it will give me null. But without left join, if I would have asked for the department of Shan, it would definitely it would have said that it is undefined. It is not possible. It is the record is not even there. And similarly, the left right join is not no different. What right join does is it just does the opposite. Like it will give the show whole right table, but it won't give me the records of the left table which don't have the values. So it's like that. I know कभी अच्छे समझ में नहीं आया होगा अभी ये. Uh, let's do a question. Like really, let's do a question. Uh, anyone just try to make a question. Sahib, are you there?
I mean, just like it could be like I want the employee's name and department, and the other one. Uh, what was the other table?
List out the
Yeah, yeah.
names, joining date, and department ID of employees those who belongs to the Jaipur city. Cool. Let's try to do it. Okay. So when I need particular columns, what I do instead of this, I will just select particular columns of like write the name of the particular columns. So, here it is. So Shakshi has put for the names and joining date and department ID. So I need uh, name from employee table, employee dot name, and then I will write what else I need. Joining year. Employee dot join year, and I need department ID. So I will write department dot BID. From employee table, we will do it with inner join because I want to check for both the records. We can do it right join as well with right join as well. It doesn't matter. It will just return null for the values that we don't have, that we have not specified. On what is the condition? It is a which belongs to Jaipur city. I will write the city as Jaipur. City equal to Jaipur. So if I just
I think the on condition should be like a common for both
where,
the tables, right?
yeah, uh, what do you mean?
The on, whenever you specify on, for which column you're specifying it should be common for both the tables.
Yeah, you're right. There should be a common division. I will try with where we cannot give
I think on this one,
employee.
yeah, EID and dep department EID and then a where condition, I think.
We can do with and only. Department dot EID and what was that? Employee dot city dot city should be equal to Jaipur. ये क्या एम्प्लॉय का डिपार्टमेंट कहाँ लिख दिया मैंने?
Yes, spelling.
नहीं, डिपार्टमेंट कहाँ लिखा मैंने? टेबल एम्प्लॉय का डिपार्टमेंट स्पेलिंग
After
तो
the
मैंने
right join.
किया.
Yeah.
ओके, और कहीं भी गलत है स्पेलिंग. contain one column.
Maybe try a where condition because I mean,
Try that.
open one.
But okay, I guess something else is the issue. Wait, let us see the table if it is there properly or not. Nishant is there and it is there in here. ID is 3 and 3 also here. Mm, बस फर्क करना चाहिए लेकिन आई थिंक फर्क तो पड़ता नहीं है. Let's find what the error is.
firstly remove the brackets,
Yes, I guess.
parentheses.
Where have been just remove the parentheses. Okay. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Simple mistake. Yeah, so it is giving as I have done left join. Yeah, what I was saying, because yeah, it gives all the details from the left table as well. So we will do inner join to get rid of that. Otherwise, it will show all the details from the left table as well. Uh, so yes, we got the details from. We got. Let's review it. So what we try to raise, we get the name from employees table, uh, joining year from employee table, and department ID from department table. So why I've done an inner join, because it doesn't duplicate the data. If I do left join, it will take all the data from the left table, that is the employee table, and will match with the given condition. And if I do the right join, it will show all the data from the right table. Let me just show you that. See, and whenever the condition doesn't matches, it gives the value to null. So this is what right join and left join is. It shows all the data from the right table. uh, right join shows all the data from the right table and gives the value null to the places where the condition isn't satisfied, and vice similar for the left join. Okay, and whenever we use inner join, and with natural join we cannot put the condition. Natural join simply gives the values, like the matching attributes. It automatically checks the matching attributes and gives the value. And inner join compares both the tables according to a given condition, and it gives us the value at only once. And here I as I told before that on we have to use on as the condition before every condition, as whenever we use where, now we have to use on. And we can use and or not to add the condition. And as specified before, whenever we want to use join, we need to have a common attribute in both the tables. And if I do this, it will give all the records, because it doesn't mean anything. It will just show all the records actually. Yeah, as a normal join operation. And whenever you do and, it's like the and or not, the thing we used to have. And means multiplication, and or means addition. Uh, so do you guys got an idea about all the joins that we will need? Or should we try another question?
And when we are working on a project, the upcoming project, we'll look at how we exactly use these left joins in a real world scenario. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. The basic thing is the query will be same. You will just have to use it in the JavaScript file. The basic thing is that, like the syntax and the query, depending on the table and the uh, particular situation. But this part will be same everywhere. Okay.
all right.
So
I mean, if you have any doubts, you can tell it right
yeah,
now, or yeah, go ahead, sir. All right, no issues. All right, so Himanshu, I'll take over right now. Okay.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so briefly, I wanted to discuss about how so far we've covered from the start the basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then we moved on to the backend, and we worked around with Node and Express, and then right now we cover some basic concepts of SQL. We got a basic idea of how to create tables and then get data from those tables based on a specific condition and all that. So for I know we haven't given much projects related to SQL because in SQL we have to it's best learned with projects. So now, right now, since we've covered almost a full stack, we can go ahead with our full stack project. So I'll just show this one, right? So right now we've covered all that we have required to start our full stack project. So what I have in mind is something called a markdown blog. Basically, for that you all might have heard of Medium, right? Where people can come, they can log in, they can write articles. You can read other people's articles. You can like them, save them for later. You can edit your articles. You can delete certain, only your own articles and all that. So it's like what we are uh, going to build is something like Medium, but it has a little bit different format. Okay, so it let's get to the core of the blog, right? Understanding Markdown, right? So Markdown is basically a formatting language, and basically people don't have to know to write H- HTML and all that. Basically, you just need to know little bit of syntax over here that will automatically convert your markdown file into kind of like an HTML file. For example, over here, just a single hash is a h1, two hashes mean h2, a dash means unordered list item, and a tree backticks and what was enclosed within that is like a code block and all that. So this is what markdown does. You don't have to remember all those tags and everything. You just have to remember these small you know this small syntax, and whatever you type after that will automatically be converted into an HTML like format. So this is the base of a project. So in the editing field, the user just has to type markdown, and that markdown will be displayed as an article, HTML article, in the website. I will give you a look into it in a while. Till then, as I mentioned, the features, right? It Markdown is converted to HTML and is presented as a blog. Articles can be created and shared. You can like and follow other people's articles. You can edit and delete only your own articles, and maybe we can work on adding pictures as well, and lots of others we'll discuss as we move forward. So what will we be using to make our app, right? So in the front end, we'll be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which we've already been covering for the past 3 months. Then in the backend, we'll use Node and Express, and finally for the database, we'll use SQL over here. And on the side, we'll also be using for the front end, like to make our styling easier, we'll use Tailwind CSS, and then Git and GitHub for version controlling to keep track of our code and to collaborate as a team so that all of us have equal contribution towards the project. We'll use Axios to put, server requests both front end and back end. We'll use EJS for building templates of our blog. And finally, we'll use Heroku. Heroku is basically a platform that allows you to host backend applications. So we'll be using that to host our Markdown blog. All right. So, what exactly is our approach for building all this? I've given sufficient time, like over 1.5 months. Obviously, I'll be working along with all of you, but I need like equal contribution from everyone, right? So I've given enough time so that you don't get overwhelmed. At the same time, you have fun time learning it also. So in the first week, that is this coming week, we'll just come up with a database idea. We'll discuss the features in detail, and we'll come up with a UI for the application. Maybe I'll show you around how to use Figma as well. uh, this coming week, I need like a proper involvement from everyone, because more ideas we can properly sort the logic as well, and it'll be easier when we actually get to the coding. So this week there's no coding. It's just full on planning. We'll see how what all we need to do in order to make a our markdown block. Then the week 2 and week 3, we'll be building our server. Basically, we'll be coding in Node.js and using Postman to test our routes. This will go on for 2 weeks, so I'm expecting like around 2 to 4 sessions. Hopefully, we'll finish it within that. And then week 4 and week 5 is basically the front end work. We'll be working on creating the UI and the logic in the front end as well. And finally, week 6, we'll host the project on Heroku, and also we'll see how to set up a hosted SQL database over there. All right. So other than that, I believe that this project would be really great for your GitHub skills as well. So I mean, these are some steps that I've come up with. So like, I will create a private repo for this project. I will add all of you, and what you have to do is you have to just fork the project, clone it locally, and then come up with features that you think you can use, or maybe small tasks here and there that you can work on for that particular project. And then you push your code to your forked repo. You put a pull request to my repository, and then I will check them, whether if the code is actually good enough to be a to go into the project. I mean, don't feel like your code is not good enough. uh, you just, all of you do it, okay? It will really help you in your open source projects as well. You'll get an experience of it over here. And yeah, that this is what I wanted to tell, to give you a preview of what the blog app will look like. So imagine this is a very rough one, I mean. So suppose I put a new article over here, and it's good article, some random description. And as I mentioned, we type markdown over here. So a hash means title, 2 hashes means subtitle, and then a dash means a unordered list. Okay. And then the 3 backticks means some HTML code, right? I mean, not necessarily HTML. It's just that 3 backticks means you're enclosing some code in there. Alright, so we can just put save. Alright, so you see it gave me my article title, subtitle, and the unordered list, and in the form of a code, right? So the basic features, you can see the articles, you can create a new one, you can read that specific article, you can edit it again over here. I can remove the subtitle, save it, and yeah, like this. So we'll be creating this, some like this is our base feature for the what will be creating. Okay. And we'll be hosting out Heroku over here. I'll show you what continuous integration is in Heroku. All right, so we'll connect it to our GitHub repo, and we'll be using SQL later. In this project, however, I used MongoDB, but right now it's better if we learn get a hang of SQL, and then we move on to NoSQL databases. I mean, yes, so that was it. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah, sure, Sahil. I'll share it in the group as well. Anyone, any questions? Like, you feel free to ask now. Like, any doubts about this project over here? I mean, if there's no doubts right now, I guess it is getting a bit late, so waiting for Mozilla. So I'll just continue. So we came up with you remember Atom, right? So we told that Atom is a common platform for the members of Think Digital, where you can see your events, you can see who's your lead, there'll be tasks assigned to you, and all that. So what I want all of you to do is go to this link over here, and create your account. Make sure you use your personal email address. Okay, so I'll also just do it along with you. So I did a Google sign up. Right. Okay. So once you come here, it will give you a prompt to complete your profile and all that. Okay. So you can go ahead and fill in all these details over here. All of them, you can just fill them up. Even your links, you can just put your username over there. You don't have to worry about putting the actual links and all. And then I'll come back to this one. So basically, when you are coming here for the first time, there'll be a gift icon over the top right corner. So it will prompt you to fill a form. Basically that form is we have like some goodies that we want to give to our team members, right? So you can fill the form and you can put a location, whether you want to collect it at the college or you want to, you know, get it delivered directly to your home. You just fill it up and it will be sent, and you will get the goodies, basically like their badges. We also have the journal that you might have seen Tina Bayer's post, and even cups are there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so make sure you guys do this. We want all of you to be registered in the Atom by today, right? So we have the various features, team directory to see who your members are. All right. You can sort them by domain as well. Then you can even see who your mentors are in the club. And then we have the domains page as well, like just brief introduction of what all domains are there in the club. And yeah, I mean, some pages are still a work in progress, but yeah, this is the first version of Atom. Mozambaya worked on it mostly, you know, he built it with React. So I mean, if you guys are interested, once we finish this full stack project, we can also give you a show of how to work with React. If you guys are interested with that, I mean, our basic aim was to get a hang of how to actually make full stack projects with the basic tech stack of, you know, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Node.js Express and SQL. Yeah, I mean, so that was about it for today's session. I hope all of you will register by today. Okay. Any doubts, anyone? I mean, just feel free to ask whatever you want. It can be anything related to Atom or even, you know, to the project that we'll be working on. Any doubts? I mean, a full stack project, you know, that might seem a bit overwhelming. That is why I've, you know, given spaced it out that way. Because I know we all have limited time. Some of even though we do second years or do have holidays, you know, that 1 month holiday coming up. I know that uh, after the holidays it's going to be more hectic, so we need to prepare for that as well. So we will take it at a slow pace so everyone, you know, gets a hang of what we are working on. I mean, yeah, so that's it for today's session. If you have no doubts, yeah, you can feel free to leave now. I will share the Notion link for this recording and the content what Himanshu has prepared as well.
Bhaiya, in a profile, it's asking something tech stacks.
Yes, I mean, you can just put HTML, CSS, JavaScript for now.
Okay.
You can always change it in the future as well.
Kunal is asking, do you have Think Digital badge or not?
Yeah, I mean, you're a new, right? So you can just put it as no.
Okay.